So talk about when the first tour you went over there, kind of what you did, maybe some stories. How was it? Was it scary? And did you see any, dime piece Ukrainian woman
No,
on the trenches?
no, no, that's I never saw a single
Yeah,
female when we were in the trenches in the
yeah,
fight. Um, when I was there, I saw we were fighting the Russian airborne because they were parachuting their guys into the
yeah.
capital,
This is the
and
first tour.
the first time, yeah,
Yeah,
and couldn't believe it. I'm in this neighborhood, all the buildings, all the houses are on fire, and
yeah,
the commander is telling us, oh, we've had about 500 Russians drop in over there in the last few hours.
yeah,
And I'm over here thinking, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm here.
yeah,
You know, this whole neighborhood's on fire. And I'm over here, still trying to become a firefighter. I'm looking at these
yeah,
burning buildings and I'm like, ah, that's a stage one, a
yeah,
structure fire. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing,
yeah,
And here we are. They kind of hastily formed a group of international fighters and we were out there. We didn't have radios. We didn't like all the stuff that when I was in the Marine Corps that they tell us we have fire support, we have a CASEVAC, we need to get evac out of there. Um, you had all these assets, and over there it was just here's a rifle, grab as many mags as you can, load them
go
up,
at it.
and go. And yeah, we started getting hit with artillery. mm, Got into like a short firefight before we decided they started shooting at us, and I guess they're trying to figure out where we were at. They had a little drone in the air, like little fucking toy drone,
Mm.
and they were using that drone. It had a camera or something. They were using that to get coordinates to hit us with artillery.
Yeah,
So when we started getting hit with artillery, we decided to peel right into the forest, a very
yeah,
dense forest, and we linked up with a Ukrainian group that was there in a trench, and we're kind of just communicating what our next move was going to be. But the whole time, every 10 seconds, we were getting hit with artillery so much that, just 2 days later, there was not a single tree standing in our area because they were all just getting blown out.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and yeah, it just felt unreal that this was happening in 2022, this day and age. You'd think we'd learn from history,
yeah.
you know?
The first time you went, it was like Ukraine and you guys were just so not prepared. You these guys didn't have the proper equipment. It was just like, just go out there and just fight, right? And you guys went out there and did what you had to do. But then you come back and talk about, because you were there how long the first time?
The whole thing, like a month, a little
Like a
less.
month the
Yeah.
first time. And then you came back and talk about coming back and then what made you want to go back again.
Mm. So I came back, and it's funny, I flew back, and
I remember you were like
right back into work.
putting
Yeah.
linens. You're like, why am I doing this when people
Yeah.
are fucking blown
Like,
up?
yeah, it was an adjustment because you come back here and, over there, you're
Yeah,
getting bombed. We had no food. And you come back and you realize, like, over here, life doesn't change. I'm back in the
yeah,
ER at work as if I never left. The same, patients coming in, the regulars.
yeah,
Um, and it didn't feel like nothing changed. I mean, the same homeless person that was standing outside the freeway was still there.
yeah,
And I started thinking, like, man, this is a whole different world,
yeah,
and it's it was a little sad. I got pretty sad because here I am, like I you saw me, I was like stocking the supply cards in the patient rooms, and I was folding pillowcases, and I'm like, man, how did I go from being in the capital of in a war,
yeah,
defending, and getting hit by artillery and
yeah,
shooting and stuff, and now I'm back here folding pillowcases,
yeah,
you know? And so I know the war was still going on. I had buddies that I made that were still out there. And I was just like, you know what? I need to find a way to go out there. And the only reason I came back too is because, I just left, used all my PTO to go.
yeah,
And so this time I was trying to find a way that I could stay there longer. And I
mhm,
was looking at like taking a leave of absence and stuff like that.
yeah,
And yeah, I went to paramedic school. And while I was in paramedic school, I was saving money, buying a new plate carrier because I knew it was only a matter of time where I'm gonna go back because I didn't feel satisfied yet with how much I could have helped, you
Yeah.
know. And yeah, little by little, I was buying gear and putting it together and getting my contacts ready to go, finding a good unit that was prepared to go.
Yeah. When you know, when you came back the first time, I was happy
Mm.
because you came back in one piece.
You guys had seen me on the
We
news.
seen you on the news and you did your thing. It was like,
Mhm.
yo, he went, he did his shit, and he's back in one piece. Like my boy is good. And then you're like, hey bro, I'm gonna go back. And then like I was like, it's like fuck. Like I was upset because I'm like, I had a feeling. I was like, dude, going back because now they know about you.
Mhm.